Hello everybody and welcome to Friday Night Football on the Lazy Craig Show. Today I'm going to talk about yellow and red cards for managers, bit of Manchester United stuff, the press and their making up of stories all the time, and managers being able to watch replays in the dugout on a mobile phone. The Lazy Craig Show presents Friday Night Football. Okay, first of all I'm going to give you a bit of Manchester United. If you've read the news or looked online lately, then you will see that Marcos Rojo is poised to exit the club. He will either be going to Wolves or Everton. It's looking likely that it will be Everton because they're willing to pay the 30 million fee and meet his wage demands. He actually does want more money to go to Everton, which is a bit ridiculous to be honest. And this is because we need to offload a defender before we buy another defender, although we have offloaded Blind already. But we obviously need to offload more in order to buy another one. The names, obviously, Maguire and Mina from Barcelona. At the minute, though, it's looking like we're going to go for Mina rather than Maguire, as Maguire will cost too much, with Leicester asking for 65 million and more. And Mina will cost about 40 million instead. So it looks like we will go for him. Also, Anthony Martial has come out in public about the situation going on right now, as I pointed out in my video the other day. He has said that he was staying because it was a difficult birth and that he will be returning to training. I believe he was returning yesterday, which was Thursday, although today because I'm recording on Thursday. So he will be returning to training. Hopefully he will buckle down and get on with it and try and fight for a place at the club rather than being moaning and whinging and sulking in the background all the time. It will be good for us if he does try and buckle down because then it gives us another option. There's no real news on the winger front because it seems as though we're prioritising a defender at the moment because that is a bigger priority. Although, to be honest, I'm not really sure why, out of all the defenders we have, it's Rojo who is being offloaded rather than Smalling or Jones, because Smalling is terrible. Jones is just comical. Ideally, it would be Smalling going because he's just not a good defender anymore. And obviously with Bailly getting injured quite often, we do need a defender. Rashford and Lukaku are returning from the holidays early, and Jones as well, so they can help out the team in the preparation and actually start training for match fitness early. The World Cup really disrupted things, to be honest, not only because the transfer window is closing August 9th, but because it means players need holiday off from football and they have to do it after the World Cup. Ideally, the Premier League season should have started a bit later, a few weeks later, but you know, they don't do that because they want more money and they want to get as much money as possible. So they've kind of handicapped a lot of teams. It's easier for a lot of the smaller teams because they didn't have many players at the World Cup. For the bigger teams, they had quite a few players like City, United, Liverpool, Tottenham as well, and Chelsea because they had a few at the World Cup with Belgium. So it's a bit ridiculous. Oh, and France with Kante. So it's a bit ridiculous to be honest. They should have delayed the season a little bit. With Liverpool news, Liverpool are trying to offload Karius and Mignolet because they now have Alisson. Although Klopp did say he had faith in Karius and that he would stay at the club. But it changed very quickly the second they bought another one. Now he wants to offload him. With Mignolet, the asking price of 15 million is a little bit too high. Same with Man City. Man City put a price of about 5 million on Joe Hart, but no one wants to pay that much for Joe Hart because Joe Hart's a rubbish keeper these days. How he was ever England number one, I don't know. Because I say these days, he's always been a rubbish keeper, to be honest. And that's not just like Man City bias against, you know, he's always been rubbish. I've never known what England have seen in him. But with rivals as well. Chelsea don't seem to be doing too much. Spurs have decided that they are going to try and wait as long as possible to buy anyone. Daniel Levy even said that he would wait until after everyone else has done their business, which is ridiculous because by the time everyone's done their business, the transfer window will be over because everyone's going to be pushing deals through until the end of the transfer deadline day. It's ridiculous. But it does look like they're going to be getting Jack Grealish from Aston Villa. Or Greeley, I'm not sure what his name actually is. If they actually get him, though, is a different matter. Levy's a bit tight-fisted, so he probably won't want to pay the exorbitant sum of $5 million, I think. But other than that, none of the teams are really making any waves. The transfers are slow for all the big teams, to be honest, except for Liverpool, who obviously made quite a few transfers early on. They've slowed down now. They're not really buying anyone. They're not going after Fecker anymore, I think. And there were rumours that they were going to go after someone else, whose name I forgot. I can't remember now. But no, I don't think they're going to go after anyone. I don't think they've got any money anymore. But now we'll get away from the actual football teams. We'll talk about two things that will be introduced this season, two brand new things. One is yellow and red cards for managers. Although right now managers can be sent off anyway. But they will introduce yellow and red cards, so they'll give warnings out, just like they do to the players. When a manager does something wrong, which will then obviously lead to a sending off if they do anything else. Although, in my opinion, the fact that the red card system right now doesn't really work that well because it seems to punish certain managers more than others. Jose Mourinho was sent off for kicking a water bottle. Jurgen Klopp or Arsene Wenger, they didn't get punished for the same thing. I think it was Wenger, actually. They didn't get punished for the same thing. Jurgen Klopp screams in the faces of officials, nothing happens. Mourinho has a disagreement, he's sent off. It's ridiculous. So I'm not quite sure this yellow and red card thing will work because I think the officials bottle it a lot when it comes to yellow and red cards, especially when it comes to managers. Obviously, they have favourites, and then they have managers they like the least. Mourinho is obviously always one of the ones they like the least because he's always being punished for stuff that other managers get away with. It's ridiculous. So I can imagine him getting a lot of yellow cards this season, maybe even a few reds, because that's just the way he is. And ideally, Klopp would be getting them more because Klopp is always doing ridiculous stuff in the face of officials and he gets away with it. But he won't because passion and, because they're stupid, they love him for some stupid reason. Another thing that is actually being introduced that came out today is that they will be allowing managers to watch tactical replays in the dugout using phones. The replays will be prepared by analysts who will be in the stadium. And then the managers can use this to relay instructions to their players. So they can obviously, if say Salah is making runs in certain positions, to tell they can tell their defenders, pick him up on this position because that's where he's running today. Sometimes footballers kind of just stick to their or instructions, even if it's not going well, because they don't. A lot of them aren't really free thinkers, to be honest. Or they won't be allowed to show the players the videos themselves because it will waste too much time. And the managers are not allowed to use the video replays to to argue against the referee or argue with the referee for any decisions he has made. That will actually constitute a sending off straight away. I'm hoping, hopefully all this works. The replay thing sounds a bit lame. Although it does sound useful because, when the manager sets his tactics and instructions before the game, he doesn't know how the other team are going to set up, how they're going to do things, what their instructions are. And obviously when they're playing the game, they can see what the instructions are and then tell their players how to counter it properly. It's a very quick Friday night football today because there's not really much going on. Manchester United beat Real Madrid 2-1 in a pre-season friendly. Obviously I did a video the other day saying pre-season results don't matter, but to be honest, beating Real Madrid 2-1, beating Real Madrid's kids 2-1, we're gonna win the league, obviously. We're gonna win everything. No, I'm joking. No, it's just a pre-season game, obviously. Sanchez scored, and Herrera scored. Great link-up play between Sanchez, Mata and Herrera. Fred played as well for a little bit. Pereira played. Both played very well. De Gea actually played a full 90 because he was back, so that was good. Our next match now is against Bayern Munich in the Alliance Arena, I think, in Germany. That's on Sunday, I believe. And then the next match after that will be Friday, where we kick off the Premier League, which is next Friday. So hopefully that will happen. Last week I also said I would put the Michael Owen segment up separately, but I ended up really busy on the weekend, getting very sunburned. So I'll play the Michael Owen segment now, and hopefully you enjoy it. Hello, Craig. Thanks for having me on the show. I will talk to you about Manchester United quite quickly. Obviously, as you know, they played San Jose Earthquakes. They both scored 1 goal, which means that they won. They also played Club America. Club America did not score a goal, and Manchester United did not score a goal, which means that the result was a draw. If one of the teams had scored, then it would have been a win for one of the teams. I will talk to you about Paul Pogba. He has not played in any of the games, which means he has 0 game time. He has been left out. They say it's because of the World Cup, which France won, which means he has a World Cup winner's medal, something I do not have. I think it's because he is being ready to be sold, because as you know, the transfer window is now upon us, and the transfer window, if you do not know, it is when you buy players and sell players. If you buy players, they are part of your team. Paul Pogba, I think, will be sold, and if Manchester United do sell him, then he will be no longer one of their players. He will no longer wear the Manchester United shirt. He will be with a different club. He is a good player. I think they should keep him. But you know, if he gets sold, then he is not a player. I think they will keep him though. And if they keep him, he will be a Manchester United player, and that he will be able to play in their games. He will wear their shirt, and he will be Manchester United. Manchester United, they played their first game of the season against Leicester City. To win the match, they need to score more goals than Leicester City score. But if Leicester City score, then Manchester United need to score more to win the game. I think that is all from me today. I have just been talking for you. I hope you enjoyed what I said, and I hope you have a good show, Craig. Thank you for having me on. If you'll excuse me, I need to go. I need to use the bathroom, which means I need to either go and have a pee or a poo, which means I need to use the bathroom. Okay, so thank you for having me on, and good luck. Bye. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that Michael Owen segment. He can be a bit too revealing with the information he provides, but that's Michael Owen for you, and he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, is he? The last thing I will talk about as well is the press, because I talked about the press a little bit before, where they go after players and lie or make things out of nothing, like where they do with Raheem Sterling. And to be honest, the press are always making up stories. So when it comes to the transfer window, it's very, very difficult to know which stories to trust and which ones are complete fabrications. A story came out yesterday, I believe, which would have been Wednesday, or it could have been Tuesday. The story was that Kovacic rejected the chance to go to Manchester United because he doesn't like the tactics we play. Now, this is an absolute bullshit story in my opinion. I don't think, because the story also says that we actually bid for Kovacic, and he rejected us. It's a crap story, as most of them are, because the one thing about the press is that when it comes to transfer stories, most of it is made up. They act like they have inside knowledge, but they don't. Look at the Lukaku transfer last year. That came out of left field. All the press were convinced he was going to Chelsea. But suddenly, like that, he joined Man United. And none of the press had any idea whatsoever. The press don't have an inside track. They don't have inside knowledge. They don't have anyone on the inside. They get scraps of information that the clubs provide to them. The clubs will leak information to the press on purpose when they want them to know. But they can keep all of it secret, just like we proved with Lukaku last year. We proved that you can't believe what you read in the papers. Because one of the things last year was the fact that Morata was coming to United and he dyed his hair and everything. And that was widely spoken about in the papers. And yeah, that's what we wanted them to know. We obviously leaked that so that we could get Lukaku under the table without anyone knowing about it. The press have no clue. People shouldn't listen to the press. Most of the time when there are rumours, half of it is made up. About a quarter of it is leaked by the club, and the other quarter is just them throwing random stuff at a dartboard and making up a rumour. And I'll show you how they usually do it right now. So as you can see, breaking news, Kovacic has actually said he doesn't want to go to Arsenal because he thinks DT is a bellend. Now, if you don't know who DT is, he is one of the people on Arsenal Fan TV. And if you've seen him in action, you agree that he's a bellend. The man's an absolute idiot. So Kovacic has said he would never go to a club that DT supports. So, sorry Arsenal, no Kovacic for you. And that's how they do it. They just chuck something random at something with a list they've got, or with names they've got, and make it up as they go along. Look at all the Pogba stories. Again, Pogba stories are coming out that he wants to leave. And now it's Barcelona. They went from Juventus to Barcelona all of a sudden. Now he doesn't want Juventus, he wants Barcelona. He went from wanting to play with Ronaldo, so wanting to go back to Juventus, to wanting to go to Barcelona because he loves Messi. So clearly, they just threw up a list of names, Messi, Ronaldo, all of the players that they think that Pogba would realistically want to play with, and just chucked a dart and then decided to write the story that he wants to go to that club. It's ridiculous. The press, as I said before, are gutter rats. All they do is lie. They never know anything. You could literally look, if you compiled a list of every player your club was actually linked with by the press, although, let's get real, most of the links are with Man United, because Manchester United is the name that sells the most and gets the most clicks and views. But if you compile the list, see how many of those players actually go to your club. It'll be less than 5%, I guarantee it, because the press have absolutely no idea whatsoever. These deals aren't done in the public eye unless they want you to know. Now, it's stupid. This is why I hate the press. Yeah, transfer season is great because of all the muppetry and all, what players are your team going to buy. But they just throw every rumour at you and they don't care. There's no effort at journalistic integrity. Well, another one of the things is that Mourinho returned to Manchester. And he returned with an armed escort, an armed cop. And the headline was, in the Mirror, Mourinho returns to Manchester with armed cop after saying under-23s aren't good enough. Now, in my opinion, that headline makes it look as though he's returned with an armed cop just to hunt the under-23s down. It's pure sensationalism at its finest. The headlines are ridiculous. Even some members of the press find it ridiculous. Like there was one member of Mirror Sport who actually commented saying that he found the headline ridiculous and that it didn't actually go through them and when they did it themselves. It's stupid. The press are nothing more than gutter rats, and I hate them. Yeah, I love following all the rumours, but like I said, they're never true. They're just random bits of crap. So don't listen to the press ever, because it just drives you crazy, and especially when it's a negative story. And that's not to say there are negative things, and that some of the negative stories might not be real, but most of the time it's crap. It's shit stirring. Look at every story about Manchester United that's come out. Most of them are negative. Most of them. No, they make mountains out of molehills. That's all they do. They get nothing out of something, you know? It's ridiculous. So that's the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a good day. Watch my previous videos by here. Like, subscribe, comment below what you thought of the video and what you think about. Tell me what you think about the yellow and red cards for managers and the tactical replays that managers will be allowed in the dugouts now. And have a good day. Bye.